Good morning, YouTubers. I'm Prepper8282, and I wanted to talk about hydraulic fracking today. First of all, let me throw in a little disclaimer. Um, I am currently not employed, nor do I have any affiliation with any groups in the oil and gas industry. Now, with that being said, I do know what I'm talking about. I have 20 plus years working in the industry through the most meaningful jobs and the most menial jobs. I've owned a couple of different oil and gas companies in my life, and I've also buried pipeline by hand. That's where I started out back in 1990. So I've had a few years to learn a few things, and I wanted to speak about this because there is a lot of controversy going on about hydraulic fracking. Like all good rumors or fuss, there is a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of truth about hydraulic fracking. I have seen in a few rare cases where a gas well, in this case, would communicate with the freshwater table. I've been in an individual's house, and he was able to light his tap water on fire. Well, it was kind of like spitting and sputtering, and he showed me that it did burn. That was quite interesting. That was in the days of what we in the industry would call easy oil, easy natural gas. Those days have pretty well passed. Now it is becoming harder and harder to get to the oil and natural gas. I have some pictures I will throw up on the screen for y'all to look at so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Now that picture is of a straight hole well drilled pretty much straight down into the earth, hitting the oil, which is just there in kind of a natural reservoir, and it is what we would refer to as easy to get to oil. Nowadays, all of this oil, or a good majority of it, has been found, especially here in the United States, where we've done extensive research to find all of the easy, cheap oil to access. Now, what we are having to do as an industry is go very deep. The average wells, like out in the Bakken Basin, which I have worked out there, out in North Dakota, are right around 10,000 feet deep. And also, there is a horizontal portion to the well that is an additional 10,000 feet, give or take. It varies up to each well. I'm going to throw up a picture of what that looks like. Okay, what this last slide depicts is an example of a deep hole with a horizontal aspect to it. The technology's really gotten good. They are able to actually steer the drilling bit, and the goal of this is to steer it right through the pay zone, the formation that produces either the oil or the natural gas. And I guess when you're 10,000 feet deep, you have double wall pipe running down through way deep into the ground, and that pipe is cemented and sealed. It's just not really physically possible for a well like this to communicate with surface. It's not going to happen. The casing, which is the outermost layer of pipe, has been pressure tested every step of the way, and it has been cemented right into place. Between each layer of casing all the way to your production pipe, there's a layer of cement, and this is even checked by a wireline service that runs an acoustic tool down inside the well, and the acoustic, the noise, echoes. Well, they have a sending unit and a receiving unit so many feet apart, and they know how long it takes a signal to return. And when you run into bad cement, the local, state, and or federal government makes you, if the cement job is not good, you have to repair it. That's a whole different topic I'm not even going to get into because it's kind of detailed and pretty specific. Okay, so about this being a new phenomena, I'm not exactly sure when the very first frack job was ever performed, but it was many years before I got into the business. It was nothing new, nothing controversial back then. I think all the controversy is a straight, just a shot, just to slow the industry down, to make them fight it out in court. It's just not a good thing. Alright, I'm going to throw up another slide and continue on from there. Okay, the last two slides that are up there, the first one is about is a picture of perforating, and the second is a perforation gun, just kind of a breakdown of what it looks like. Back to easy oil. As you can remember from that slide, there was just a pocket of oil naturally occurring into the earth. Now we're to the hard stuff. And what has happened or occurred within the earth is the rock is kind of like a sponge, would be a good analogy. And this sponge is soaked with oil. Okay. Now, the horizontal drilling, they drill right through the center of the sponge. That way they can collect oil from both directions. It's going to seep up into the wellbore, and it's going to fall down into the wellbore. Now, perforating, you set off explosive charges, and they blow holes outward, 360 degrees. So some are going down, some are going to the side, some are going to the top. And what this does is it begins the fracturing process, and it's going to allow, through these cracks, through this explosion, the frack to actually take better. Now, the term frack is short for fracturing, and everyone should know what a fracture is. You see it in your sidewalks, on your driveway, on your basement floor. Cement fractures. This is a pretty common thing. There's nothing weird or hokey about it. When this fracture occurs, it is going to allow the sponge of the earth that's holding all this oil to fall down into the wellbore. And not only does it fall naturally, but these formations are highly pressurized. Some may have 2,000 pounds of pressure naturally occurring that's going to force the oil. Just like water flows downhill naturally, this gas pressure is going to force all of the oil towards the wellbore, making it much easier to retrieve. I'm going to stop there and throw up another slide. Now let's talk about what fracturing actually is. The last slide you just saw was an example of both a straight hole frac and a horizontal frac. What they do to get the fractures to occur is under very high pressure. They pump water, usually, sometimes some synthetic materials mixed in with the water, and this water makes the rock crack and open. Okay, and then to keep the openings open, they will physically pump sand into the cracks. Well, this allows the oil to fall down through the sand and into the wellbore. In conclusion, I hope this has answered some questions that some of you may have out there. Please leave me comments, questions, like my videos if you like them. If you don't like them, leave me a comment saying what I could do different. We still have a lot of things to talk about, and we're going to make some more videos, so I hope you all enjoy them. Please subscribe. Please like my videos if you do, and have a great day. Thanks.